How you doing?
Is that it?
Yeah,
Are we good?
you're done.
Are we good?
How much of a transition going from running back to wide receiver room for you? I know you played wide receiver at Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, I've coached receivers before, and the great thing about coaching the skill positions, especially at this level, the mentality is the same, the position's different. You're still coaching 18 to 22-year-old kids, so you're still going to hold them to the same standards regardless of what position you're in. The transition's really been easy.
Has anybody stuck out to you this spring the most too?
I think if you look at the whole group, we've made some improvements. Obviously, we have some young guys that are, had some experience playing last year, and you always expect guys as they move through the program to make improvements. Obviously, there's been some guys that have really made tremendous jumps. You look at Shameen Jones is a guy that flashed at the end of last year and is really having a very good spring ball. Mo Jabby is doing a heck of a job this year. Bo Melton, and Everett Wormley is doing a great job too. So, there's guys that played last year as freshmen, probably got thrown into the fire a little bit early. So you would expect those guys to use that experience and play a little bit better, and they are.
You weren't his coach last year, but in hindsight, what do you think was the hardest part of Bo trying to get his feet under him as a college freshman?
Oh, I think it's always a big transition. Regardless of where you come from, what other people say you're, how good you are. The facts of the matter is he's coming in here as an 18-year-old kid that never played in the Big Ten, and all of a sudden the game's faster, and some of the things he could get away with in high school, you can't get away with this at this level. And unfortunately, we had to play him last year. But the biggest thing for him now is he's grown up, from a mental standpoint, and really gotten a lot of confidence and really moving forward. But it's a big transition for everybody.
There's an outside perception that Rutgers needs more skill position players to compete. You deal with these guys every day. Do you scoff at that notion? Are you confident in the guys that make plays?
Oh, I'm confident the guys we have. I really am. The four guys that I kind of mentioned, but there's other guys out there. Hunter Hayek's doing a heck of a job. Prince Taylor, is a guy you probably haven't heard a whole lot of. It's doing a heck of a job here in the spring. And then Eddie Lewis, just talking about what we talked about with Bo. I mean, the guy, just walked in here 3 months ago, and he didn't know what he was walking into, and he's really had a good spring. So the guys we got in the room are the guys that are going to help us win, and they can. I have full confidence in them.
You mentioned coming in as an 18-year-old freshman sometimes struggle. How much do you think Shameen benefited from having that redshirt year to have?
No question. Shameen, I don't know what he weighed when he came in here a year ago. Just physically, he wasn't ready to play. From a strength standpoint, he's up to 190, 195 pounds, whatever it is now, and he looks like a Big Ten wide receiver. When he walked in here a year ago, he was 165 pounds. So, when you're looking at guys coming in as true freshmen, are they physically ready to play? A lot of them aren't. You want to redshirt them. Are they mentally ready to play? Some of them are physically ready to play, but they're not mentally ready because it's a big transition. So for Shameen, I mean, it was a great year for him just to learn, build his body, and become stronger mentally.
How big of an impact do you feel like he can make on the field? Because obviously it's an adjustment to playing in practice, going on in a game. Just how much impact do you think he can make?
Well, I think by the way he's been practicing, okay, he's going to make that transition easy. Yeah, it's a big adjustment, but if you do it in practice, pretty good chance it's going to show up on Saturdays and games.
How much does a prep year for a guy like Eddie Lewis benefit him?
I think it's benefited him tremendously. He's a year older, okay? I mean, really, he should have come in with Bo and Hunter and Shameen and those young guys. So he's a little bit older. He's been through the ringer a little bit, so to speak. Hey, Milford Academy is no picnic. And, him coming in here, he's really made a good transition, smooth transition.
Hunter is a guy who did get that experience. What did that help? What did that do for him to kind of give him a year under, college experience?
And Hunter's got to look at it a different way. He was a guy who was kind of forced into playing.
Yeah.
Okay? He's played in games. He's played in the big house. He has that experience. He knows that he can go out and play in the Big Ten. All right? So he's got to have that confidence. Now he's just got to detail, learning how to really play wide receiver. But he's having a good spring too, making plays out there, which, a year ago he wasn't quite making. So I think, guys, we got a good core. Okay, we've got a good core of wide receivers. We just got to keep moving them along.
Ash and Coach McNulty both said that they believe Bo Melton is that big play, home run hitter type of threat. Do you agree with that assessment that he can be that type of presence.
When my two bosses say it, of course I say it. Of course I agree with it.
Not gonna
Now,
argue.
the thing about Bo, Bo's playing with confidence right now. Okay, and when you play with confidence, okay, you can just go out and play instead of thinking all the time. And he's really stepped up his game here in the spring, and we just got to keep moving forward to make sure he keeps pressure on himself to keep getting better every day, and he's doing that.
Because how do you approach, it seems like a lot of your top kind of receivers are all kind of the same height, same size, everything. How do you approach that from a coaching standpoint? How do you think that helps the offense to maybe a little bit more interchangeable in different spots?
Well, right now, we're trying to make sure we get the offense down in one spot.
Yeah.
But as we go through spring, and I'm still learning the guys. I mean, it's, I've only been on the practice field with them now 11 times as their position coach, and I'm still learning them. But eventually, we're gonna have to be able to have guys that can move around and play other positions. And they're all talented enough to do it. We just got to figure out who can do it, mentally and handle it mentally.
Final question.
Yes.
When Brandon Marshall was here, did you see if he had any eligibility?
Yeah. I'll tell you a different story about that off the record.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Can't top that.